Now, we are fucked.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the videos. Before we start off, if you guys are excited to see all the content that we have for this Forester XT 5-speed, like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. But we've got a lot of stuff to do to this thing today, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, boys, plan for today. We're gonna start today with a compression test on this because it turns out that Luna might actually want to be keeping this car for herself. So before we do anything too crazy with it, or before she sells her car, I want to do a compression test on this thing, make sure the engine's healthy and that we're not going to have to rebuild it here in a month or 2 months or something like that. I want something safe and reliable for her. So we're going to do a compression test. I'm probably not going to walk you guys through it, but I'll show you details here and there on the test and everything. Other than that, we've got coilovers here. Unfortunately, I bought these used, but I say unfortunately, but I knew this, but this lower mount is broken pretty bad. I guess the kid forgot to tighten this one down and broke this lower mount. So I was gonna weld it, but I decided if she's gonna keep it, I wanna just buy a totally new lower mount for it. So I got one of those coming from ISC. Other than that, these coilovers are in really good shape. So that lower mount should be here within a couple of days, hopefully by Monday. But it should be going back on by the time we finish this video. So those coilovers should be going on in this video. Other than that, we've got some wheels. These are wheels from an 08 Plus WRX. I just got some new tires put on them. So these are all season tires. They're going to be replacing these ugly steel wheels. And then we've got a passenger side and driver side fender for this thing. So we're going to rip these nasty fenders off, put those fenders on. And I'm not sure if I want to paint them yet or if I'm going to have Luna wrap the car. Kind of depends on when she makes the decision for sure if she wants to keep this thing. The fenders are silver, but shouldn't be an issue. Anyways, let's go ahead and start with the compression test. I'm going to take everything apart, pull the spark plugs out, and do one cylinder at a time. Straightforward, so let's get to it. So just to update you guys really quick, I was going to try and do this without jacking up the motor, but I realized very quickly that that might not even be possible because the way the motor sits on this side, I know for sure, you really can't even get the coil pack out from in between the frame and the head without jacking the motor up. So what I did is I took the top mount intercooler off, took the 14mm bolt out of the pitch stop mount right there, and then I came underneath and I took the motor mount bolts off. There's just two 14 mils, one on each side. You guys should be able to find them pretty easily. And then I put the jack on the header, or the exhaust manifold, whatever you want to call it. And I just jacked the motor up as much as I could. I'm pretty much maxed out. As you can see, this line is pretty taut, so I didn't want to go any further than that. But it gives me plenty of room, and it's going to save me a ton of headache when taking not only the coil packs out, but taking the spark plugs out and then putting my compression tester into each spark plug hole. It's going to save me a ton of headache. So I'm really glad I did it. It only took me a couple minutes and here we are. So I've got all 4 coil packs out. I'm going to take the spark plugs out and then do the compression test. So I'll come back to you guys in a minute. So I got the spark plugs out, and here's another really good reason you want to check maintenance and stuff like this on your cars. Is because I don't know if you guys know anything about Subarus, but these people tried to put Champion spark plugs in the Subaru. And that's unfortunately one of the worst combinations you can have. Not only are champions not very good in the first place, except for things other than like some Dodge and some old Ford stuff, but Iridium NGK is really the only spark plugs you want to put in your Subaru. So I have a set of these that I've had sitting on my shelf for like 4 years. But I'm going to throw these Iridiums in there once we're done with everything, and she should run a whole lot better. But spark plugs are out. Number 3 back there in the corner is kind of a pain in the butt, but really with the motor jacked up like I showed you guys, it's really not that bad compared to how it could be. So let's get the compression tester in, test compression, and we'll see where our numbers are at. Okay, we cranked it with the compression tester plugged into cylinder 1, and this is the moment of truth. We've got 105, about 109 psi, 109 psi in cylinder 1. So, unfortunately, that's not super healthy. For a turbo 2.0 liter, you really want to see closer to like 130 or 140. But we'll test the other ones and see if maybe we have a bad cylinder or if they're all getting kind of low like that. And then obviously you want to check against official specifications, but so far I don't know if I like that 109 psi. But I guess let's just continue testing. We have it this far. Let's do cylinder 2, 3, and 4, and we'll see where our numbers sit. Cylinder 3, about 110 as well. About 110. It's looking a little grim, boys. Cylinder 2 is at about 103, 104. It's right there between 100 and the tick for 105. So about 103. Last one to test is 4. Last but not least, cylinder 4. Usually this is the worst one, but in our case, it's actually the best cylinder. I did crank it one more revolution, so that might have to do with it. Maybe I'll go back to 2 and crank it as many times as I cranked 4, but on 4 we have 115 PSI. I don't know if you guys can see that. Kind of hard to tell on camera, but we got 115 on cylinder 4, so it's not the worst, and it's definitely not like dying, but I'm not really sure how I feel about that low of compression. I'm gonna go back to cylinder probably 2 really quick, just because that was our lowest one out of all of the other ones. We'll go back to 2 really quick and crank it just as many times as I cranked 4, so 1 extra revolution or whatever, and we'll see what kind of compression we get when I redo that one. But as of right now, let me know what you guys think of those compression numbers down in the comments, and let me know if you think we should run this motor for a little bit, rebuild the motor, or just get rid of the car as quick as possible and let it be somebody else's problem. Yikes. So I went back to 2 and cranked it a couple more times just to see if it would build up a higher number, and it didn't. On 2 we're still at about 103, 104. So let me know what you guys think down below. Other than that, we're gonna move on to the other stuff, I guess. I'm gonna put it all back together and then move on to, I guess, for now, I'll put the wheels and everything on. So, this one's tough.
So, change of plans. I actually decided I'm gonna keep the car. So we're gonna get rid of these rusty boys and put on some new fenders that we picked up the other day. So yeah, follow along.
Yeah, so she's keeping the car. So let me show you guys what we have. I'll show, I think I already showed you guys the old ones, but I'll show you the new fenders that we have for it. They're silver, but I'll let Luna tell you the plan for that. As she just told you, she's planning on keeping the car. So she's gonna help me do a lot of the work on it now. So let's go ahead and get to it. Just gonna show you guys the fenders that we have for this thing really quick. Like I said, they're silver, but I'll let her tell you the plan with that. They're both in pretty good shape. This one has a little bit of rust right here, where maybe a tire hit or something like that. Little spot right here where there's a ding. I might try to maybe hammer that out before we put it on. Just minor stuff. They're in pretty good condition. I got them for a good price, so we're gonna throw them on. And then I keep saying it, I'm not gonna say anything. I'll let her tell you the plan.
I thought it was gonna be. See? It's rusty.
Yeah, those are a little crusty. One thing we just discovered, I saw this bolt sitting in the AC condenser line, or the AC compressor line here, just kind of sitting there. And I don't know how I know it so well, but I know Subaru bolts well enough to know that this isn't the right bolt for the AC line. So I started moving it, and it was literally loose by hand. And I just took it out, and this wasn't even set all the way in there. So that's definitely an issue with the AC in this car. It also looks like somebody tried to put like gasket maker on it. So I'm gonna find a new OEM gasket for this thing. Unfortunately, Subaru is really picky about their gaskets for the AC. So I have universal ones, but I doubt it would fix the problem. So I'm gonna get a new OEM gasket for this, put it on, reinstall this. But for the time being, we're just gonna leave it like that. I knew it didn't have AC to begin with, but I thought it was a different issue. So we will get that solved here very quickly. Also, that looks like it might be stripped out in there. So I'll have to rethread that and put a longer bolt in it. But Luna is taking off the bolts to get the fender off.
Where's your tiny ratchet?
Tiny ratchet?
Yeah.
My 1/4-inch ratchet?
Yeah.
It's in my box. Anyways, we're probably gonna have to take the headlight off to get to the brackets in the front of the fender. If I remember correctly. Probably be a good idea to look at the other fender first and see where all the mounting points are. So I'm gonna do that really quick and help her get these fenders off. I'll show you guys this one last time, because we're probably not gonna go over the whole process, but it's in really bad shape. Unfortunately, the door took a little bit of hit too. That's well, I don't think we need another door, but babe, so I can stop forcing myself not to say anything, do you want to tell them what the plan is for, like, the
cosmetics?
Yes, thank you.
I don't know.
Oh.
I have an idea.
Oh.
So I have my purple car, and I love her to death, okay? I work at a school, and all the kids love it. But it's already black. I could get a paint correction and make it a spooky car in general. Or, because my beloved Gengar gets so much love, I could just wrap her purple, because I still have 2 cars worth of fucking purple wrap. Sorry, purple wrap.
We say cuss words on this channel, it's okay. But yeah, down under my box, I actually have 2
This one's
rolls of wrap. We have a lot left of the purple that she wrapped her car. I'll link that video up here. And we also have a lot of the wrap from that Jeep that you guys saw. So initially the plan was to wrap the vehicle, but I might also be picking up another 2005 Forester XT with a 5-speed manual transmission. We're gonna go look at that on Wednesday. Probably the same day that you guys will be seeing this video, depending on when everything happens. But it's gonna get corrected somehow, whether it be paint correction and paint touch-up or wrap or something like that, depending on what car she decides to keep. Things will get corrected. So
I have the option of keeping the silver one.
I told you that.
I thought you were gonna. Which one are you keeping then?
I'm not keeping any
I
of
thought
them.
we were gonna be a Forester couple.
Should we be a Forester couple, guys? I haven't seen any comments yet, so we'll have to figure that out. Or I'll figure it out on my own. I don't know. Anyways, let's get to it. Taking these fenders off and everything should be pretty straightforward. If we run into anything weird, I'll show you guys, but we're gonna get them off, get the silver ones on for now.
This bolt stripped.
And then go. You never like to hear that. I'll figure it out.
It's
okay.
rounded, sorry.
Let's get to it. All right. One of the easier fenders I've done. You do have to take the headlight off, but it's just one bolt here and then 2 bolts on the front mounting tab right here. Pretty simple. And then you got a couple hidden bolts behind it. Luna's gonna put the new one on. She's got the new one here. This has got to go under.
I know.
Hold on.
Hold on. This side's stuck too. There you go. Little plastic piece.
So it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. We're gonna get this new one mounted and on and everything, and probably go eat dinner and then mount the second one. But
There we go.
I've definitely seen worse, so I'm confident you boys could do this on your own.
If I can do it, you can do it. Even
You're-
though Clint owns me by the headlights.
I just get impatient and I want to just get it done and over with, so I kind of start, you know, taking charge. But anyways, she's gonna get it mounted and we'll get on to the next one. So here we are a few days later. We're gonna replace the really bad one today, and then I think that's gonna do it for this video. This video's already taken a lot longer to come out than I wanted it to, and I don't want it to be super long, so we're probably gonna do the coilovers and the wheels in another video. So let's go ahead and get this one off. It should be same process, pretty straightforward, but it is pretty bad. So this one is gonna make the biggest difference in pretty much the whole car. So let's get it off, get the new one on. I'll show you guys what it looks like afterwards. And maybe, if she feels like it, we'll go for a drive today. So we'll see you guys in a minute. All right, guys, both the fenders are on. The passenger side that you saw that was messed up pretty bad still doesn't exactly sit fully correctly, but we'll work on that a little bit more later. We have to go get some pop clips for it and maybe check and see why this isn't sitting or clipping back into where it needs to be. This might need to be pushed in a little bit, but not a big deal. It's on. It looks a whole lot better than that dingy, bent up, rusted one. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Like I said, I don't want it to run too long, and we've got a lot more stuff to do. So we're gonna start on that stuff now.
You think it's 11 or 12 now?
And then we will get back to you guys in the next video with the wheels and the coilovers. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that. Like the video, comment what you guys think of this build down below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Peace.